Each winner will get a...
From the shadow of the Rocky Mountains, coming to you live from Provo, Utah, Brigham Young University hockey taking on Utah State Aggies. I am Jeffrey Barber here with Caleb Lemming, bringing you the Cougars' third home game and their first tilt against the bitter rival Utah State Aggies, a team that they frankly dominated last year in conference play, in cup play, at home, on the road, everywhere with the exception of the semifinal game in the region tournament. Caleb, thoughts?
Well, obviously coming off last night's win, fourth game in a row against an in-state rival. I know they want to keep this momentum tonight against a improving Utah State team, see if they can keep this momentum going.
9 periods into the season, you see a team that is really developing, finding the blades on their skates, finding the blades on their sticks, and really developing some line cohesiveness and some of the scoring touch and feel around the nets. We saw a lot of that on display last night as they dominated really from start to finish in an 8-2 victory against the Wolverines of Utah Valley. And every bit of that will be tested as they go tonight against a Utah State team that, with the exception of last year, has really been at the higher echelon, especially if you look at the teams here in the state, and has continually competed at the ACHA level for trophies year in and year out, as long as I've been paying attention to BYU hockey. So when we come back, we'll have some lineups for you. We'll have some national anthem for you. We will have some hockey for you as BYU gets prepared. We are a little better than 4.5 minutes away from the opening face-off, and we'll get an opportunity to see your Cougars coming off of a strong victory last night, taking on their bitter in-state rivals, the Aggies of Utah State, and we'll bring them to you. Checking our feed. Hopefully everything's working out for us out there, but we'll have live hockey action for you as soon as here in Provo, Utah, BYU Cougars looking to redeem a little university pride after the football team fell unceremoniously at Toledo today, and the Cougars with an opportunity to build off of an exciting couple of weeks of hockey here. A couple of tough losses last week, and an opportunity for your Cougars to really test the water that's actually ice and see exactly, who can handle certain situations, what they need to improve on, find their legs, take a couple of hits, and start building towards their region standings, which are really going to begin tonight here against University of Utah State University.
Yeah, as you mentioned, a couple tough losses to begin the season, Utah and Weber State. Offense really got going last night against BYU. 8 goals in the win, 3 combined in the 2 losses, looking to see if the offense can stay hot and what kind of BYU hockey team we're going to get tonight.
One of the big changes in the offensive performance last night, in the first 2 games, you had 2 goals from number 5, Jake Eisenstadt, and only 1 goal from a forward, which came from number 18, Ian Thunhurst, who really ripped the top off the stat book last night by putting up 5 points. But you saw scoring from multiple lines across the forward section, and most of your points, with the exception of there were 2 goals that came from one from Ethan Hernandez, and then also another one for number 5 Jake Eisenstadt. But the other 6 goals came from forward lines, which, for BYU to be effective as the season continues, they really have got to be able to get scoring top to bottom, especially from their first and second lines.
Yeah, we're going to see depth as the key here, and obviously early on, 4th game of the year, I'm sure they're still going to be testing out some of the lines, see who skates well, who meshes well together.
Big addition to the lineup last night and paying dividends immediately was a return of Chase Christensen, who potted a couple of goals, had a couple of assists, and really provided a jump both on the power play and on that top line, and really got into a rhythm with the Alex Square duo of Alex Barris and Alex Stroud, and finding holes, and they've really passed the puck effectively and seemed to kind of, as the game progressed, really begin to trust where you're going to be. And for a hockey player, that's an essential component of offensive play, is knowing that if I leave the puck here or I push the puck there, that my partner, that's where he goes. This is his spot on the ice, and he's going to find that spot, and we're going to have an opportunity to score. And the more scoring opportunities are created by that top line, a guy like Chase Christensen comes in and he just is finding pucks in front of the net all night long, and I think he spent last night looking for an agent so that he could try to capitalize on his newfound fortune.
Yeah, as you mentioned, that communication is key. Last night looking like they skated well, communicated well, and Christensen here looking to be another impact as he gets set tonight.
For Utah State, they're coming in. They played 3 games on the season. I'd love to tell you how they've done, but nobody's put any information out there for me. So they are an enigma wrapped in a riddle. We do know that they won a close game last weekend against Weber State at the Ogden Arena, and had a couple of tough games on the road after that, but this is their first opportunity to take on BYU here. And right away I can see a few returning Aggies. Bradley Green, I believe Bradley Green is a freshman this year. And, unfortunately, the roster I have is from last year. But Bradley Green is a kid, grew up here, played hockey in Park City with my boys, moved up into the Davis County area, was a Davis County Eagle, spent some time playing in the junior circuit, and this is his first year of collegiate hockey. Big kid, hockey pedigree. Dad was a junior player, national champion at Shattuck St. Mary in Minnesota, played at the University of Utah, and so Bradley's a player to watch out for tonight. A number of these Aggies that are returning are guys that have participated in a lot of victories over the past couple of years, including last year, like I say, going 5-1 in the regular season, five losses to 1 win in the regular season, but winning the most important game for them last year, which sent them down to Dallas in the national tournament, and they look to return there. What do we look to see here out of the Aggies tonight, Caleb, as we're starting into the game?
Well, as you mentioned, their win last week against Weber State, it was 5-4. 5 different Aggies scored in that win in overtime. So looking for them to move the puck well around, have good line communication. It's impressive. 5 different Aggies, as I said, scored. Looks like they play well together, already have good team chemistry going.
The Aggies have been a very consistent program over the last couple of years. Some of my nefarious scouting contacts have told me that they lost some depth from last season's roster and some of the guys that have carried them over the last couple of years. But if history is going to tell us anything especially about this team, they will certainly come out to fight tonight. As we pause for a brief moment for the national anthem presented by a lovely young woman on the ice whose name has not been revealed to us.
Now singing the national anthem for today. Please rise, remove your caps. Tonight we have visiting singer Atlee Begay.
Atlee Begay about to present the national anthem.
We're getting ready for a competition. We need your help.
I am retired.
Stylistic change to the opening of the national anthem.
New rendition.
Yeah. Dropping the remix national anthem, available on iTunes. All right, we'll set your lineups here for you as the Aggies look to bring out number 4, number 55, number 7. Looks like we'll have dueling Mosers in number 7 and number 4. Try to get some more roster information as the evening progresses, but look, we're the BYU Cougar Network, and so it's important that we know their names and recognize that there is another team out there. Number 55 is going to be Bradley Green. I know him because I know him. And Jansen at number 25. Trying to see names and jerseys carried over from last season. I don't see a lot of repeating numbers from last season. Your Cougars will come out with 2 of your assistant captains, with Alex Stroud, number 9, lining up at the right wing. At the left wing in his second game this season after a big night last night will be Chase Christensen. A number of times last night I did call him Christiansen. I apologize to him, his family, and also the Christiansens, whoever they are. I don't need to lump those people together without due cause. Another assistant captain, number 87, Alex Barris. Alex has has looked a little tentative in the first couple periods of game one, but has been back to the Alex Barris I know since then. Wins that faceoff forward, and the Utah State is able to turn it around. Your defensive pairing starting out will be Sam Rudder, number 3, and Jacob Eisenstadt, number 5, as BYU is able to force the puck back over the blue line and deep into the offensive zone. Tried to shuffle it back out of the zone, and Eisenstadt able to hold it in, push towards the net, and forced out. Brad Green, 55, brings it down, dashes it across the ice, gets a shot on net that Jeremy is able to steer away. But BYU struggling to clear the puck. Got a couple good opportunities there from Utah State, and they'll finally just fling the puck the length of the ice. Force the goalie to play it as BYU has wholesale changes coming over the wall. Heavy forecheck here to start in the first period, as we've got a new forward line of Ian Thunhorst, Adams. I think that's Jake Adams.
Jake Adams.
It is an Adams, and then Nixon Barber. One of the most dashingly handsome young men ever to put hockey skates on, if I'm being honest and fair.
I'm sure he'd appreciate that.
Not Optimus Prime. Actually, his name is Wes. Real missed opportunity by his family. Number 12 out there at the defensive position. Shot gets through and covered up by Manzella. Out to Thunhorst, who dumps it up the boards, and BYU will change again. Another addition here, defenseman here is number 22, Ethan Martinez. His first season with the Cougars. Very physical type of game, jumps up on the rush, and has really been able to jump in on this BYU team and find a role for himself very quickly, as Manziel is able to turn one puck aside, clear the zone, cross the blue line, and Utah State will recover and try to get a rush moving. As happens, a lot in it. The early stages of the game, a lot of feeling out. Is it going to be a physical game? Is it going to be a skill game? Last night, so much of the game was played between the blue lines, and so far tonight, they're having a little trouble just kind of building a pace. So they're trying to figure out who can and will do what, as Mosher tries to carry over the line and leaves the puck behind, has to push back into his own zone as they try to reset and push forward into the Cougar zone. First line for the Cougars out once again, as O'Brien, number 42, dances down below the red line and turns the puck over immediately to Josh Eisenstadt, who gets it out in front. And Alex Stroud tried to chip the puck through the skates of the defender, and he was able to stay on the puck and turn it around, as Sam Rudder, number 3, trying to get that out of the zone, and does, and left at the red line by Nixon Barber. Dumped back into the Cougar zone and back out into the waiting hands of Chase Christensen, who tries a little back pass that right into the waiting hands of an Aggie as they turn up ice again. This time Jacob Eisenstadt, number 5, leading the rush, goes to the net, gets a shot just wide, and BYU able to hold the puck just inside the zone and then back out, as BYU is going to pull their first penalty, as number 42, I believe that was, or no, it's actually going to be number 12. It looks like McRitchie is going to get 2 minutes for roughing, as bowled over an unwanted Cougar there at the red line, and BYU will get the first opportunity on the power play. I have spoken for almost 3.5 minutes consistently. I'm going to let the dulcet tones of Caleb Lemming speak up here. What are we seeing so far out of these Cougars and these Aggies?
Well, as you mentioned, the first few minutes of the first period is often the time to get to the feel of the game, get to understand how everyone's going to skate together. One thing I've been impressed, though, with the Aggies is their aggressiveness, especially in those first 2 minutes. Already 4 shots on goal within the first 4 minutes of this period. They're playing aggressive and playing physical. As for BYU, I feel like they need to be a little more aggressive. As we saw, they just had a good opportunity from Eisenstadt, and they need to look to capitalize on.
BYU turns the puck over. Cutshaw going to drive on the net and try to Great save there by Manzella as he went to the blocker, deflects that away. BYU has given up a number of short-handed rushes over the last couple of nights and having trouble controlling the puck as Martinez takes it deep back into his zone. A minute and 12 remaining on the BYU power play. BYU yet to register a shot in the game, let alone on the power play, as Martinez brings it across, and there a shot does not make it through to the net from Eisenstadt, especially here on the power play. Slow it down, work your points. Cross ice to Christensen, who puts a shot towards the net and deflected away. Stroud below the net, deflected out high, and Christensen will take that. Eisenstadt at high at the point, and that's first shot registered by the Cougars on net as Christensen throws it in, and Ian Thunhorst, number 18, is able to deflect it onto the net. Christensen goes high at O'Brien, and lucky that only I was paying attention to where that hit ended up as he sends it up to Alex Barris, deflected high blocker side by the goalie and back out as we near 15 seconds left in this power play for the Cougars. Down low to Thunhorst, who dumps it into the zone for Barris to chase. Checked nicely there by number 25 and forced down to the ice. Puck will be picked up by Christensen. Playing a little give-and-go game there with Jacob Eisenstadt, who is deadly from that spot on the ice with his wrist shot. Gets one deflected in front. Cougars will go dry on their first power play attempt as Thunhorst tries to steer number 7 away from the net mouth. Barris is down there, forces him back into the defense and forces the turnover down low. Eisenstadt checked off the puck. Utah State getting a lot of activity down inside the, what I call the dirty areas, in or between the red line and goal mouth and face-off circles as they have to reset to get back on side and do. Bradley Green will take a shot that's deflected by 25 and kicked out of the crease there by Manzella. Manzella, I said this a little bit last night, faced 90 shots in 2 nights, only gave up 11 goals. And anyone who's ever faced a shot as the puck comes out clear, and Christensen is going to put that on net as BYU tries to change out behind that dump in by Christensen. Effective dump in when it ends up on the net and forces the defensive players to have to get to the net as Barber tries to clear the zone and doesn't. Ends up creating a turnover for himself and drives it out of the zone. Gains the offensive zone. He's got Osborne headed. Puts the puck on the net. Again, another save there by number 33 in the net. And Johnston tries to bring the puck in low and taken away by Adams. Adams able to dodge a hit there as Johnston was trying to clean him off the glass and missed that. And now starting to get a little more of a back and forth rhythm as that puck is deflected by Jacob Eisenstadt and recovered there in the corner by Alex Stroud. Dumped back in low below the red line. Eisenstadt going to go over there and face off with number 14 Bryant, who will force the puck back to the blue line. Recovered down low. A lot of this just sounds like I'm commentating on a yo-yo match.
It'd be an exciting one.
Yeah, the cat's cradle is being shown here by the BYU defense as Eisenstadt slows the puck down a little bit, gets it out to number 3, Sam Rudder. Rudder will bring it into the neutral zone, deflected off of a Aggie stick and brought down, again, back into the offensive zone for the Cougars as Christensen there on the forecheck, cross ice to for Mosier. Mosier looking for an outlet as the Aggies cycle through the neutral zone, looking for a way to get into the offensive zone. Pass to Green is tipped away. Eisenstadt able to recover and then forced out again. Christensen trying to tip it back into the center of the ice for number 14, Hayden Christensen, who has the puck taken away. Zone gained and lost as Sam Rudder able to get the puck, trying to lead Hayden Nelson a little too far out in front, and now the Aggies have a little momentum coming back. Mosier takes the zone and takes a stick to the skates. Hand is up as BYU looking to touch up here for a delayed penalty, which will be a trip against Ethan Martinez. And puck touched up there 3 times. And finally, BYU will go on their first penalty kill. 10 minutes and 49 seconds BYU trailing in shots. One of the huge problems I've had over a number of years, I complained relentlessly about this last night, but being outshot game in, game out. Last night they were aggressive, going to the net, taking shots. To this point, it's not that they're not trying to get shots to the net. The USU defense is just closing off a lot of the shotting lanes. A lot of deflected shot attempts so far from Utah State.
Yeah, they're playing Utah State, that is playing really well between the blue. BYU needs to be a little more aggressive and capitalize on the few Aggie turnovers there are.
To number 22.
This is going to be a key stand for the BYU defense, their first time in the penalty kill. See if they can hold off the aggressiveness of the Aggies.
Penalty kill unit here is West Prime, number 12, Eisenstadt, Barris, and Stroud. Breaking out between two defenders, gets clear, takes a shot, glove side, deflected away. Puck settles down, and Alex is able to force it back down to the red line and make the Aggies reset on a good scoring opportunity there, shorthanded. Alex will come off. You've got Barber and Udall out on your penalty kill. Nixon chasing Brad Green up, and it forces a turnover. Eisenstadt will bring it up the ice, takes a couple of chops, and Eisenstadt's going to get a shot off, deflected into the pads there by the goalie. Another save for him, and another attempt as the power play so far, with the exception of the first couple of seconds, the power play for the Aggies has looked a little disjointed, maybe a little too much one-on-one, people trying to like push too far, never really getting anything set up where they can work the points. Last night we saw Utah Valley really trying to work below the red line as Fernandez has that puck turned over at the blue line, and BYU will dump back in and change out forwards with 22 seconds left here in the penalty to Ethan Martinez.
Yeah, and this penalty has been impressive. BYU defense has not allowed a shot on goal, and it's also, almost spoke too soon there, it's also looked to have been their best 2 minutes of offensive hockey. A couple of nice possessions for the Cougars.
And Chase Christensen chips it over the boards there below the red line. They'll get a face-off there in the Cougar. Looks like it's going to be deflected and come outside of the zone. 5 seconds left on the Martinez minor for tripping. So they'll try to set the Cougars up, and they do with Barris, Stroud, Rudder, and Prime. Martinez will come on and look for him to come off. He'll stay. Nope, he's going to come off, and then you'll get the number one line back up. Trying to get the number one line back up, but a icing call against the Cougars will freeze the roster on the ice, with Martinez occupying the forward spot of Chase Christensen. Rudder and Prime back as your defensive pairing. Alex Barris chips it ahead. Ethan Martinez brings it up, gets across the middle, and across the goal mouth to Alex Stroud. Stroud back across, and Ethan Martinez taps it home, and the Cougars are up 1-0 here with 8:28 left in the first. The Cougars strike first on their sixth shot.
I'll tell you what was beautiful there was the skating and handling from Ethan Martinez. Looked like he wanted to go right, saw the Utah State defender, kind of slipped up just a little bit, went left instead, had the opportunity, got a hit.
Like I talked about early in the game, Ethan Martinez showing no hesitancy in moving forward. Him being there at the forward position with Christensen not making it out doesn't diminish the offensive skill there. You saw him drive to the net, create an opportunity for Alex Stroud, and then stay around the net to clean up the rebound there, as BYU being outshot here in the first period, but able to strike first. Last night, early in the game, the Wolverines drew first blood, and tonight they are setting the fatted calf on the altar and preparing for a sacrifice. Some of you Old Testament students will recognize the imagery. So I'm trying to appeal cross-genre. I don't just want to appeal to the the moms and dads sitting around their television in Virginia, if they're maybe their husband's a referee and thinks everything we do is crazy. As BYU gets to the net, Hayden Nelson with a big hit to spring the shot coming in, and looks like we're going to get a penalty. When the play gets a little physical, the refs start paying attention, and if you're the guy that's reacting, you're often going to get the penalty, and that's the case here as BYU will go on the power play again with number 11 going to the net, the penalty box for 2 minutes. Looked like a roughing call down there in the corner, and BYU will send out their number 1 power play unit. Say that one time fast. Christensen, Barris, and Thunhorst in at the right wing. Eisenstadt and Stroud occupying the top corner here, the quarterbacking position. 2 very adept puck handlers and very good shots there at the point positions for this power play unit.
Cougars have looked much more aggressive here in the past 5 minutes or so. This power play opportunity now, I'm sure they'd love to get a 2-0 advantage against this Utah State team. They're going to need to capitalize here.
BYU doing a good job. We're trying to work the puck around, make the defense move. Shot wide there by Bryant. Thunhorst able to get it back to Eisenstadt to Christensen with Barris and Barber moving up. So that's Thunhorst and Barber moving towards the net. Thunhorst with a shot on goal that's going to clear the zone. And coming up to the minute, the correction on the call, it was an elbowing call, not a roughing call, that sent number 11 into the box. And BYU looking to get into the zone. Nixon will chip it in low, dump it in. Forecheck there from Chris Udall. Goalie will force it back up the boards to Nixon Barber. Send it up front. Udall in front of the net. And stick to stick. The puck comes out. Martinez back to Rudder. Back to Martinez. Push the puck forward as he tries to get his own hung up there. Udall dumping inside. Martinez and Udall are wrestling there with a couple of Aggies. Looks like Udall's coming away with it. Gets inside the offensive zone, dumped down below the face-off circle and thrown out length of the ice by the Aggies as Rudder comes down and tries to steer that puck away from the lone Aggie forechecker. And as I talk about Alex Stroud's ability to handle the puck, he demonstrates a little bit. He danced his way into a little trouble there in front of the net, but got out of it. And Aggies back to their full staff on the ice as power play has ended, and a couple of shots there on the power play for the Cougars, and delayed penalty coming up. Looks like they're going to get, I believe, Alex Stroud, as he was having a physical disagreement with one of the Aggies there along the bench.
Looks like it's going to be the second penalty now.
They're going to take that to Chase Christensen instead, and they're going to call that an interference. Alex Stroud coming off the ice, Chase coming on, and Chase causing the interference there, or at least being given credit for interference there. 2 minutes, 5:05 to play here in the first period, or as hockey announcers should say, 14:55 gone here in the first period. Cougars penalty kill unit out there. You got Thunhorst, Barber, Eisenstadt, and Prime. Green takes it at the blue line, fighting there with Jacob Eisenstadt. He tries to force it across. Had an Aggie there, and BYU able to keep it clear. Trickled across the goal line and steered out there by Ian Thunhorst and cleared the length of the ice, and they will wholesale change as Alex Barris and Caden Nelson will come on. Prime and Eisenstadt still back in the defensive pairing. Utah State comes in, tried to hit a trailing Aggie coming around the net, and the puck went wide of him, unable to control it, and goes the length of the ice. Caden Nelson down on the forecheck. Nelson to Green, back around the low part of the ice, trying to pick up a little momentum. Forwards kind of standing around a little bit in the center of the ice when you're trying to set up this this power play rush. You want your forwards cycling through, and just not a lot of activity or movement there from the Utah State forwards, and just really delayed the opportunity for the Aggies to get that puck out of there as Ethan Martinez throws that the length of the ice, puts it on net, forces the Utah State goalie to have to make a save as Cutshell tries to drive around Ethan Martinez, gets a good stick on him, slows his momentum, and keeps him from getting a clean shot away as Nixon Barber in the neutral zone throws it on net, short-handed, and Ian Thunhorst able to get a chip there, force them to freeze the puck. 23 seconds left on Christensen's interference penalty. I believe 2 shots registered during this power play so far. One really quality shot opportunity, and then a couple of, another one just kind of thrown near the net as BYU wins that face-off again back, and Martinez will dump it in low. Utah State controls the puck, trying to get to momentum to move up the ice to get it to a forward pairing. Come into the BYU zone onside. Puck shot, deflected away by Manzella and cleared out by Ian Thunhorst as the penalty will expire. And Christensen comes out of the box. Even strength hockey here with 3 minutes left in the first. BYU up 1-0 on a Ethan Martinez tap in. Mosier gains the zone, steps around Martinez, sends the puck low, cut off there and picked up by number 17 for the Aggies, drops it back to another Aggie offensive player. Puck shot high, gloved down by Manzella and cleared out of the zone there by number 58 Osborne. Length of the ice will allow the Cougars to change out, and again the Aggies will try to build some momentum and force their way back up the ice. Long stretch pass up to 17, tipped into the zone. Gains position there on Eisenstadt, tried to get it out in front of the net, but there was nobody home. Clears out of the offensive zone, forcing the Aggies to reset. Looks like Lubin is the 17. A lot of these names will start to come to us as the game goes on. Their jerseys are well identifiable as Eisenstadt drives to the net, and Christensen in a tussle with Martinez. Martinez is one of the players from last season. Brett Fernandez, who BYU had a number of hearty disagreements with last year, and as Jacob Eisenstadt went to the net and was unable to convert on the shot, and then he got cleaned up by somebody, and then Fernandez on Eisenstadt, and Chase coming to his defense, taking taking Fernandez, and looks like we're going to just agree to disagree and allow everyone to put their hockey accoutrement back on, and we will reset again. 5-on-5 hockey with a neutral zone face-off, I believe. 1:55 here to play as the Cougars set to go with their first line of Christensen, Stroud, and Barris, Eisenstadt, and Prime at the D, and trailing in shots 7-12, but leading where it counts currently 1-0. Christensen trying to tap that puck loose, gets free into the Cougar zone, and BYU looking to clear it out. Turned over to O'Brien. Good back check there from Sam Rutter, who takes away a scoring opportunity there on the doorstep for the Aggies, and BYU able to regain the puck and clear it down. Dumps in, long pass from Eisenstadt. Beautiful breakout pass. Stroud tries to go glove side high and just misses high, and BYU with a great scoring opportunity there as Fernandez comes in, takes a shot, covered up by Manzella, and then takes an elbow at the hockey playing model that is Nixon Barber.
You mentioned momentum a few times here in the last few minutes. It seems like with the exception of the first 3 or 4 minutes in this period, the Cougars have all the momentum, obviously the goal, crowd's getting more into it, but it looks like they're playing more in sync, their communication's better, and their offensive opportunities have really increased the past 2 minutes.
High shot there off the face-off from the Aggies. Aggies still control. Cleared out of the zone there by Prime. That should go for an icing and does. The roster will remain intact on the ice with Martinez, Prime, Barber, Adams, and Thunhorst. Some good speed out here on the line with Adams, Thunhorst, and Martinez. Nixon Barber not slow of foot, but he coming off of a shoulder surgery, he's not got his legs, lungs, or arms back under him yet. As a shot comes off the face-off, great job there by the Utah State offensive player there. I believe that was Cutshaw who forced a little bit of a draw and a low hit. Penalty is going to be taken by the Aggies, number 25, Jansen, as he in the football world that would be called a chop block. Not sure what the technical call is here as they look for Jansen to take his rightful place here in the penalty box. 47.7 seconds here to play. BYU going on the power play once again. Power play unit of Martinez, Barris, Thunhorst, Eisenstadt, Stroud on the ice as BYU looks to build and carry a little momentum here as we close out this first period. Clean win back to Eisenstadt, cross to Stroud and Eisenstadt yo-yo back and forth. Thrown in front, deflected on net there by Thunhorst. And the Aggies will clear the zone with it. It goes the length of the ice. Manzella will come out, stop the puck, allow BYU to come down. Eisenstadt controls the puck, allows the forwards to set, cycling through, up ahead to Martinez. Martinez will gain the zone. He's got Barris there with him, controls the puck and tipped out. And another shorthanded opportunity that will get netted by O'Brien as Eisenstadt really caught no man's land, not sure whether he needs to take the shooter or the backside. No backside help came, and he kind of got caught in between. And a great shot there by O'Brien. He just drives the net and takes it high stick side over Manzella on the 14th shot to even the game. Short-handed, 1-1 with 12.5 seconds to play.
Deacon O'Brien's first goal of the season for the Cougars couldn't have come at a worse time. Only 12 seconds left of this period on their power play. Really a momentum killer as we about to head into the second period.
And BYU really was handling that power play puck distribution well up across the points, and then Ethan Martinez just got bottled up a little bit with a couple of Aggies and was unable to control it as the horn will sound. And BYU, who moments ago looked like they would be taking a sizable advantage at 1-0 into the period, with 19:47 and 3/10 gone in the period. Utah State able to level things up on the shots, up on the penalties, and even on the score. The Aggies and the Cougars will go here into the first intermission 1-1 here on the BYU Hockey Network. When we come back, we will have second period action coming to you from Provo. You're watching BYU Hockey 1-1 after one. Let's see what happens here in the second. Caleb, what do you say we do another period of this, huh?
Let's do it.
First one was with some moments towards the end there. First one was pretty good. I think we should try this again, yeah?
I agree. Maybe the ending is just a little different this time, but let's go for a second.
BYU coming back out on the ice with a 1:13 man advantage. Number 25 will reside in the sin bin as we start up tomorrow, or start up at the second period buzzer here. A couple of statistics here for you from the first period. We know, unfortunately, about the 2 goals, one from O'Brien, one from Martinez. And BYU, it looks like they had a penalty advantage, 2-3, and 3 penalties there for the Aggies. And then Jeremy Banzella, 14 shots on goal, 13 saves, and number 33 for the Aggies, Cody Grogan, stopping 7 of 8 shots as BYU trying to get the puck there to Alex Stroud at the blue line, and a little disjointed coming out, much like they did start the first period, and sometimes this really clean, fresh ice is hard to play on. You want it mucked up a little bit, but BYU throwing the puck around a little bit, trying to find a little bit of a rhythm as the puck finally does get into the Utah State zone. Nixon Barber chases it down below the red line. Ian Thunhorst pulls it loose. Thunhorst Barris, cross ice over to Christensen. Eisenstadt out in front. Nixon Barber deflects it on net and goes wide. But they do get a shot there as Thunhorst gets his stick lifted, and they do. He's looking at the penalty, at the official down on the red line, who did not make the call, but the official at the blue line did. 2 minutes for a hook there from number 4 Mosier, and that as I look to our resident official here, that's a play that can kind of go either way. As the offensive player, anytime your stick gets lifted, you want someone to pay the price for it. But as the defensive player, you want to be able to slap sticks with impunity. But BYU nevertheless will go on another power play here as Mosier goes to the box.
Good opportunity here for the Cougars as they started this period with a power play, and they're going to continue right into it. See if they can figure some things out as they start. Maybe take opportunity of this, which they have not tonight.
BYU trying to establish a little bit of rhythm here, especially with the power play. A little yo-yoing of the puck there against the defensive boards between Barber and Osborne. Osborne tried to throw it in towards the net, deflected down and driven out of the offensive zone by the Aggies, and BYU will regroup as Eisenstadt brings it up, gains the zone, risks a shot towards the net, deflected but carried in deeper by Barris, who tries to throw again into the high slot, deflected again, and then finally cleared as the Cougars will make changes out on this power play unit. We've got Barris, Christensen, Eisenstadt, Alex Stroud hiding behind the linesman here, and looks like they're going to call an offsides as BYU muddled up a little bit there across the blue line, and the Aggies will force them to retreat and regroup. Eisenstadt will carry the puck in again and tried to get it deeper and deflected out, and then driven deeper into the zone by McLovin, McSomebody, and BYU gets the puck cycled around back up to the high point there. Eisenstadt across to Christensen, wrists it in. Pad save by the goalie, kicked out and deep. And Manzella across to Eisenstadt. A couple of decent shots there as we go back to even strength for the Aggies, and a little bit of a miscue there along the boards, and I'm not sure if that was Christensen or Barber, but tried to throw it back through the defensive line, intercepted, and ended up putting on net there by the Aggies, and a great save there again from Manzella. As in every game BYU has played so far, Jeremy Manzella has really been the difference between having a really, really rough night and just having a rough night. As makes another save there. 17 trying to clear space there in front of the net. Ethan Fernandez, that shot deflected, blocked by Osborne. Puck loose below, picked up there by Prime. Up towards the blue line, held in by Fernandez. Martinez is able to get it out and down, and that will go for an icing on the Cougars.
BYU, icing.
Going back to the save by Manzella, one-on-one opportunity for the Aggies, as you mentioned, from a little miscue from the Cougars. However, when you can count on your goalie to back you up, it's an excellent glove save. It really gives a little bit of boost of momentum for the Cougars to see if they can capitalize on that here.
One of the tougher units to break in on any team is defensive. Offense comes kind of naturally to hockey players as that shot is high and gloved away by Jeremy. But as this team comes together and these defensive pairings learn more about each other, and another deflection there by Manzella. Another save from Manzella. Another save from Manzella.
Man, he is just everywhere right now.
Udall diving to try to slow the onslaught. Jansen, 25. Deflected high by Manzella's fifth save here. BYU unable to clear the puck out, deflected on net and swatted away there by Ethan Martinez. And that shot blocked down low into the corner by Osborne, cycled around by Barber, and back up to the net. And off the cage high and into the net. Their tough high angle shot, and you just can't spend that much time defending that small area and not end up with something ending up finding the back of the net, and that's exactly what happened there to the Cougars, where they spent the better part of a minute or more in the defensive zone and pay the price as Utah State takes their first lead of the evening on their 20th shot. Now they lead 2-1 with 5 minutes and 20 seconds gone here in the first, as Aggie and Cougar fans are having a very spirited contest to see which one can make the most obnoxious noise. And it is a tie as we go back to game action.
I think I'm fine if we keep it a tie for the obnoxious noise competition. Going back to the goal from the Aggies, there's not much more you can ask Jeremy Manzella to do back there. If he spends too much time, as you mentioned, in what you call the dirty zone, dirty area, then they're just asking for a goal. Jeremy Manzella was great, but unfortunately just too many shots, not much more he can do.
I expect the shots that both the Manzella brothers are going to have to face as the season continues, those shot totals will go down as the defenses become more consistent and more aware of who they are, where they are, all of that. But as it is right now, 90 shots the other day with 6 minutes and 21 seconds gone here in the second. BYU already surrendering 20 shots. 18 saves for Jeremy as icing is called. Puck will come back into the BYU defensive zone, and Adams will take the face-off. And puck is drawn back to Aggie. Aggie with a quick face-off shot that was blocked, and puck finds its way loose to the front of the net, but carried out by Jake Eisenstadt. Eisenstadt gains the zone with Barber out in front. Shot wide and out. Rudder will control in his own zone, and BYU will change in behind the play. Tipped in onside by Jake Eisenstadt, and BYU getting a full line change there as Martinez goes pinch in to try to hold the zone. The puck escapes him back to Prime. Prime up to Christensen at the red line. Gets a backhanded pass into Alex Stroud. It gets it deep in, and it's out in front of the net. Christensen checks the puck off the play there. BYU able to recover and get it back in low. Christensen again takes the offensive player off the puck, and he is not feeling well as the puck is shot and blocked down low. Christensen having trouble getting off the ice. Good problem there, looks like, with his left leg, knee area, and Utah State able to clear the puck down. Masunas tries to get a shot on that, carried out of the zone by Caden Christensen. Caden Christensen pushes it in, and Utah State's going to have to slow their drive there as the offsides was set to be called. Udall chips the puck forward into the Utah State zone, settled there by the defense, and thrown back out, settled by Martinez. Barber with the dump in. Fernandez cycles it out and around, and icing waved off as Lubin was able to get there first. Leaves the puck for another Aggie. Deflected shot attempt, and then Thunhorst just about gets it out of the zone. Puck thrown on net by number 11. Barber hit hard there by Lubin, and Eisenstadt will corral the puck and look to move the offense up. Pass thrown in behind Barber, turned back over to the Aggies. Eisenstadt again with the puck, cycles it back around low, where Utah State will pick it up. There along the red line, try to get out in front, and tipped away. Barber gets it ahead to Thunhorst, who gets a shot on on high, but goes high. Back out, and Green charging into the action. Leaves it for Lubin, who throws it high away from Manzella. Green recovers and shoots on net again. Manzella gloves that one away. And the Aggies still circling the offensive the zone there, and another tough angle shot there by number 12. And that shot ends up in the back of the net for Chris Cutshaw. And that's the first shot the Aggies were able to register from their last goal. Sorry, so they just changed that number. So scored the second goal on the 20th shot and the third on the 22nd. And BYU now with 9 minutes and 34 seconds gone in the second period, now looking up at a 3-1 deficit.
Second goal of the year for Chris Cutshaw as he gets it in there. The story of these about 9.5 minutes in the second period is that we're spending way too much time in the Aggie zone. You need to minimize time back there. Asking Jeremy Manzella to do a lot right now. The offense needs to pick it up, play a little more aggressive.
There's a couple of fans out here in front of us that are literally trying to recreate the Dumb and Dumber scene in the van. Hey, what's the most annoying sound you've ever heard? And so far, I'm pretty sure that sound is ass being screamed back and forth.
I think they're giving Dumb and Dumber a run for their money because it's annoying, to say the least.
Both in the activity and the name, I think they're giving Dumb and Dumber a run for their money. So BYU offensive rush here from the Aggies. And one thing we've seen so far coming out, halfway now through the second period, the Aggies have certainly been on the toes of their skates, forcing the action into the Cougars' end of the zone, and BYU has not been able to respond. They start the second period with almost a little more than 3 full minutes of power play time, and generate a little bit of activity, but in the 10 minutes since, it has been all Aggies, both physically, pace-wise, and certainly on the scoreboard as that puck is thrown back out, rudder to control, sends it across, and right now the Aggies are just looking to put a body on someone anywhere they can, and finally they get a whistle for it. There's been a number of, none of it to me is dirty, but, there's just been a little very borderline hits here in the last few minutes, and I think it emboldens the Aggie players, and so you saw there in the last half a minute a couple of really, really big aggressive hits, and finally one has been called a penalty as 29 for the Aggies. Sean Johnson will go to the to his office, the penalty box, for 2 minutes on I think it ended up being an interference call. Could have also been a roughing or a being naughty, I think is one of the good shot there from Martinez, deflected away. High stick is called, and BYU's power play advantage will go away as Thunhorst will go to the box for a high stick. 14 seconds of power play advantage will bleed away to a 4-on-4 hockey after the expiration of the penalties. The Aggies will have a 14-second advantage, but right now you've got a lot of speed out on the ice with Eisenstadt, Stroud, Barris, and Martinez. Puck won back, and right away, and I think very clearly the officials have decided that they need to rein this in a little bit. That was a slash by the clearest definition of it, but one that happens very, very often in the course of a hockey game and is very rarely called just because of the nature of it. But I think that evidence that the officials are saying, okay, let's reel in, dial down the physical play a little bit. It wasn't hard stick work at the hands. I don't argue with the play at all, but with the call. But BYU back on a 4-on-3 advantage. A lot of open ice for the Cougars to work with. As Barris will send it up high to Alex Stroud. Alex back across to Eisenstadt. Eisenstadt trying to close the box down a little bit. Sends it low to Stroud. It gets down below the red line, cycled back up to Martinez. Martinez to Eisenstadt. Eisenstadt to Martinez. Martinez shot kicked back to him, and then BYU will set up again. Barris trying to clear space in front. Stroud to Martinez. Martinez to Eisenstadt on the right side of the rink. Thrown across to Stroud. Stroud deflects and picks up.
2 minutes for high sticking.
Back in low to Barris. Left there for Eisenstadt, and that's the thing that Barris can do so well. Puts it right on the doorstep, and a power play goal, number 4 for Jacob Eisenstadt, as he cashes in the first penalty against number 29. Will cycle him out of the box, leave a 4-on-4 situation for the Cougars in a 2-3 game. BYU a minute 4 left on Thunhorse penalty, and then a minute 10 left on the second penalty for number 17. I'm not sure exactly how all this will shuttle out. The way I described it is the way I believe it's going to happen, but I have long been wrong at the way I thought personnel decisions would be handled post-penalty in hockey matches. But we do go 4-on-4. BYU on their 10th shot. Great setup there, and fantastic work on the power play there as the Cougars cycled the puck around, worked into a great shot opportunity, and a great shot as Manzella covers up the fight hole and kicks that out. Barber and Adams get the puck out in front, try to come across to Adams. Puck is left there for Barber, who throws it on net, kicked aside there by the goalkeeper for the Aggies. Adams and Barber looking for the puck down low. We're 4-on-4, 7:23 left to play here in the second period. Puck thrown in high over the head of everybody. Eisenstadt trying to clear out some space there as the puck gets away. And Barris brings it down, and he cuts back inside and gets a very, very clear possible uncalled hook there, but nevertheless, BYU unable to cash in there on the breakout advantage. Barris, Stroud, Eisenstadt, puck deflected on the shot, unable to get it clear, and we will now go to 5-on-5 hockey as all penalties have cleared. Glove down by Manzella, picked up by Thunhorse, sent ahead for Stroud. Stroud dancing through the defense, gets some space, creates a shot, and buries it. When you let Alex Stroud get to his shooting side with space, he will find a hole, and he finds that hole just inside the goalkeeper's elbow and levels this game at 3-3, 6:31 to play.
One thing you mentioned from Alex Stroud this entire game, and when we started, was his ability to skate through defenses. He was just dancing. His puck handling was incredible there, and just dances right through the defense, gets it up. Excellent goal, excellent puck handling there from Alex Stroud, ties it up.
And if you believe in kismet, karma, the signs, omens, whatever, so Utah State scored their second goal on their 20th shot and their third on their 22nd. BYU scored their second goal on their 10th and their third on their 12th. So for all of you numerologists out there, you go ahead and send me a message. Let me know what that means and how we can capitalize as the Cougars. Little more hop in their skates as they come back out. Instead of trailing 3-1, now even up. Couple deflections low, unable to clear as they try to clear that right into Caden Nelson's ribs. Deflected up high, held into the zone by the Aggies, taken deep by Prime, and cycled out there by Osborne. And interference call is going to go against, looks like the Aggies will send number 19 into the box. Thomas McLovin.
Sounds right to me.
I think we've got a McLovin and a McMuffin on the team, and you know what? I'm going to run with it because no one's turned my microphone off yet. So BYU looking at their 94th power play here in the second period. Started with the remainder of a penalty from the first period, immediately drew a second. We had that little skirmish where we ended up with 2 Aggies in the box and 1 Cougar, and so this, I believe, ends up being the 4th penalty taken here in this period and the 5th power play opportunity, as you had the minute 35 carryover for the first. So if none of that made sense to you, welcome to hockey at Brigham Young University. Puck thrown towards the net and deflected on net, and then a lot of unnecessary stick work up around the face mask there as Alex Barris trying to chip a loose puck into the net, and rightfully Utah State Aggie players taking offense and trying to clear him out of there, but puck is cleared out, and everybody will reset. Number 1 power play unit on the ice. Up at your points, you've got Stroud and Eisenstadt. As that puck kicked around by a number of people, and Stroud blocks it, keeps it from going the length of the ice, and that will get the puck down to Eisenstadt, to Martinez, up to Stroud, who's forced off the puck at the boards, and Barris unable to hold it into the zone, deflected it, gets it low down to Eisenstadt, and Alex Barris having a little trouble getting it out of his skates, finally does, but their momentum into the zone is halted. Martinez carries in, loses an edge, goes down to his knee, forces the puck down in low. Chipped up high and deflected out off the hand of Alex Barris, so that should come out into a neutral zone face-off. And as my children will tell you, I was right.
You were, and look at that.
Look, in a subjective-ish field like officiating, whenever I can guess what the officials are going to do and come back with it, I really feel good about myself.
As you should. You got it right, and let's see if they can capitalize. I'm sure your children think that you're right most of the time.
Well, I don't know that they've ever thought that I'm right, but they've been forced to admit it. So, puck on net, chipped around, still loose, goes wide finally. Thunhorst into the boards, controls the puck, brings it out. Eisenstadt will reset at the point. Throws on net, deflected in off of Barris and covered up there by the goalie, Cody Grogan, facing his 15th shot. 32 seconds left in the power play. 3-3 game. Cougars leveling up here just a few minutes ago, and then immediately going on the power play. 32 seconds left in this power play as Adams prepares to take the face-off. Face-off, draw, cleared, not cleared, as Eisenstadt holds it in, throws a deflected shot on net. Eisenstadt again, he and Barber work the points. Udall there, throws it into a stick, tries to get it back, and they're going to draw another penalty as Mosier there, I believe, number 14, so it looks like Shea Bryant. No, it was Mosier, number 4. So he got a little deflection on it when Udall was able to pick that back up. He took a two-handed swing at him, and right there, if you power play situation, you have the puck. There's probably going to be a number of guys with red armbands paying attention, orange armbands paying attention to you, and they immediately call that one out. BYU with 5-on-3 advantage for 13 seconds, and then we'll go on to a 4-on-3, or I'm sorry, a 4-on-5. Short after that is Stroud looking to compress that box, force everyone in. They get a shot off from the right side, held in as one Aggie comes on. Barris to the side of the net, throws it up in front. unable to bury that home and unable to clear the zone. They finally do. Stroud, and BYU looks like they're going to give a player back as they're going to get Alex Barris for a hook. It did look like they're low when he was trying to keep level and keep that puck from getting out. It looked like he got his stick up in there, and that's a relative. If there's an easy call for an official, a slash or a hook is one. Oftentimes those are difficult to see because officials' glasses get fogged up usually on the ice, and so sometimes their vision's clouded. That's for you, Mike. So BYU, 3:26 here left. We'll go 4-on-4 for 1:33. And hey, Utah State, let's give one back as 17 decides to go shoulder high into Ethan Martinez. And they'll call that an interference, and he will be invited into the cage. So these are fun challenges to try to describe. So BYU was on a power play, went to a 4-on-4, 7 seconds into the 4-on-4, now back on the power play in a 4-on-3 for 1:25 when it'll go to even strength 4-on-4 for 28 seconds when BYU will go on a 5-on-4 power play for 7 seconds.
The math sounds right to me, so we'll go with that.
That is the quality Spanish Fork High School math department education coming back to haunt me or rescue me as Bradley Green carries down in low, checked off the puck there by Eisenstadt. Bradley really just trying to kill some time. The more time he can spend with the puck on his stick, the more time will elapse off of this 4-on-3 opportunity for the Cougars. This is Eisenstadt, who has logged a ton of time out on the ice tonight. Carries the puck in deep, slows down, sets up, gets it up high to Martinez, who throws it on net, and they're knocked down by Thunhorst. On the ice now you got Thunhorst, Stroud, Rudder, and Eisenstadt. BYU 30 seconds left here on this 5-on-3. Stroud will carry in onside, let people cycle in low across to Eisenstadt. Eisenstadt and Stroud both very dangerous with wrist shots from these positions, unable to hold the puck in the zone. Stroud throws it back towards Eisenstadt, who kicks it deep into the zone, picks it up, gains the offensive zone, throws the brakes on, loses his defender. Stroud across, high to Rudder, who gets a shot, gloved, shouldered into the glove there by Grogan for a stop, and we have 4-on-4 hockey for the next 20 seconds. 1:46 left here in the second period. Shot advantage for Utah State being trimmed down a tad, which is a scientific measurement in the Wiccan cycle. 7-shot advantage, 25-18. BYU really controlling the shooting lanes for the Aggies, holding them to just a few shots since they gave up that last goal. And Martinez will slow the puck down, dances, spins a defender, and gets it up, chipped in onside by Nixon Barber. And a 7-second power play will be multiplied as the Utah State Aggies doing everything in their power to let BYU hang around in this right now, as Cutshaw takes another penalty and will go to the box. BYU will have 5-on-3 here for what seems like an eternity if you're a defender right now, but it's only 6 seconds. 1:24 to play. Barris with the win. Back to Eisenstadt. Back over to Martinez. Back to the high point to Eisenstadt. Right in the wheelhouse of Martinez. Deflected wide by Jansen. Thunhorst driving to the net. Takes it back out high. And Eisenstadt just misreading the position there for Martinez and put it into a spot that Martinez had vacated. Has to bring BYU back out in their 5-on-4 as we go under a minute here to play in the second period. Caught up in the skates there for Thunhorst and brought in low and forced on net there by the Aggies, number 25, Ole Jansen. Ollie. An ollie is something you do with a skateboard. An ollie is a Scandinavian gentleman, I believe. So.
Ole sounds good to me. Scandinavian. Maybe
Yeah.
He's got some heritage back up in the family tree.
It's hard to argue with me if I don't let you talk. So.
Well, maybe he skateboards. Maybe we'll go with Ollie as well. Who knows?
Out of the zone, controlled by Stroud. Back in, dumped in low. Stopped there by Grogan. Left. Thunhorst there on the forecheck. Kicks the puck loose. Udall there will get it up to Eisenstadt. Dances around. Udall throws off the crossbar. Great shot there from Chris. Dumped into the far corner as we go to 15 seconds here. BYU with the opportunity to get one more good rush up ice as Eisenstadt tried to get it across there to Udall, but deflected off a skate, and this period will end unceremoniously but eventfully as the Cougars rally from a 2-goal deficit to even things at 3, cut a 10-shot disadvantage down to a 19-25, and once again will bring themselves into the third period with a man advantage. When we come back for third period action here, BYU tied 3-3 when we come back third period here from Provo. kids at home again, I'm showing my bona fides as a youngster. On the Instagram, Jeremy was showing off his reflexes as he was balancing on a balance board, juggling balls against a mirror on one foot. This is the kind of highbrow commentary and analysis that you don't get from the network broadcast.
That's in depth, that's for sure. I'm not sure there's much I could do on 1 foot. So,
couple of shots get loose, and finally one gets potted in by 17. As BYU had a couple of opportunities again to get that puck out of the zone and couldn't get it over that blue line, and was a big challenge last week, has been a challenge last night, less so tonight, but on most of the scoring plays for the Aggies, they take a 5-3 lead 4 minutes and 10 seconds into this third period. It's clearing that net mouth and also keeping the puck, out of the defensive zone, getting those pucks cleared in a hurry here. The Cougars, who came into this period level at 3, find themselves down 2 goals as Barris throws across the net mouth trying to get a shot on. He had danced his way into the zone. Utah State coming up, and Bradley Green, who has a long-lost friend in Alex Barris, come in and take the puck away from it from behind. Thunhorst throws it on net. Looked to be frozen, but was turned loose there by Grogan, and Thunhorst still battling. Utah State unable to get the puck out of there, and BYU still fighting for it. Finally, the zone is surrendered, dumped back in by Eisenstadt, and cleared back out, back in. Got to get Thunhorst out of the zone onside, and does. The stretch pass comes out to Johnson. Johnson dances around, leaves the puck up high on a little saucer pass to Mosier. And a penalty is going to come against number 17 for the Cougars as he got a little tall with the stick. Going to get a cross check to him, and BYU in a spot where they really don't want to go back on the penalty kill after giving up their power play goal that I will firmly take the L on. Number 17 is going to go to the box with a cross-check high stick call, and a lot of the ice slanted here towards the east end of the arena to where BYU's goalie is trying to keep the fort established and closed.
The penalty kill is really an area where to take away that 5-second left goal. I thought the Cougars had an advantage tonight against the Aggies on their defensive side, but still got almost jinxed it again there. Still got a minute.
We are not going to discuss scoring, only not scoring, as Johansson and something I call a shass, which is a shot pass, goes from the point down low to a guy set up out in front of the net and deflected on in. And this may be a time for the Cougars to take a break here, as 5 minutes and 55 seconds through this third period, they suddenly find themselves down 0-3 after once being tied.
Something I've noticed here in this third period, already 8 shots on goal for the Aggies, only 11 in the entire second period. They're playing aggressive and fast and beating the Cougars defensive line.
Cougars able to hold the puck down and low, turned over, picked up at the blue line. Stroud there, drops it back into Barris across to Thunhorst. Thunhorst playing up on the line with Barris and Stroud in the place of the injured Christensen. Eisenstadt cyclones his way loose and pushes the puck, trying to get Alex Stroud out in front of the defense. and leaves it a little long for him, and it's going to end up being an ice. But there's a lot of time left in this period, and I've seen BYU score a bunch of goals. What they can't do, right, you got to get one. Okay, you can't. There's no three-pointer in hockey. Get the first one, then get the second one. You got to chip away at one goal at a time. You can't get level until you get to 6-4. Eisenstadt to Barris. Barris up the line to Osborne. Osborne chipped back to Caden Nelson. Nelson around the boards, kicked out of the zone by the Aggies. Mosier, number 4, picks it up, carries it on side, dances through a number of Cougars to get to the net. Udall chips it out of the zone. Caden down on the forecheck, played back in behind the net. Coming across, nearly picked off there by, I believe that's Thomas, number 17, or I'm sorry, Ty Evans. Down low, Chris Udall's gonna pick that up, dumped ahead, past Evans. Caden Nelson able to get to it, dump it into the offensive zone just ahead of Evans, who puts the forecheck on. Puck comes loose. Evans there still. BYU able to hold the puck into the zone for now and drop down into the corner where Nixon Barber is going to have it, give the offense a little chance to set up. Drives towards the net. Evans with a shot on, deflected away by Grogan. Cycled back around low. Barber pushes it up where Prime will throw it towards the net mouth, deflected high and away. Evans down there trying to pick up the loose change, but unable to. Kept in and then carried out by Adams to Martinez. Martinez and Prime back on the defensive pairing. Barber, Thunhorst, and Barris out. Off the boards to Thunhorst, who puts it on net into the chest pad there of Grogan. And, BYU, a little bit of activity, holding offensive zone, picking up a couple of shots on net, and giving BYU an opportunity to try to get back in this game. 11:34 left, or, as they say, 8 minutes and 26 seconds gone here in the third period.
That Spanish Fork, really math department, really serving you well there.
Yeah. Most people who try to teach me math would be horrified that I'm mentally trying to do math while attached to a microphone, let alone primarily math is what I do for my occupation, so it's a little unnerving. I'm right there with him. I don't know how that happened, but the Aggies gain the zone. Puck by Cutshaw, left for Johnson. Johnson back to Mosier at the high point. Puck left loose in front of Manzella again. High shot over the net. Down low into the corner again. Up to the high point. Mosier with a shot again. And this time Manzella able to deflect it down. Sent back on net there by number 5 Eisenstadt, and wisely covered up by Jeremy Manzella, who has decided that if the only way he's going to get a break is to cover the puck himself, then gosh darn it, that's what he's going to have to do.
Spending a lot of time down there in the Aggie zone, as we saw earlier in this period. As you mentioned, though, Cougars just have to get one before they can get 3 in the second period. They were down 3-1 early, came back. Still plenty of time here, but they need to get the puck out of this zone.
Mosier 7 gets the puck down low, dance around. Green spins away from the defender, still controls the puck, taking it back towards the net, turned loose there, and cut back by Martinez. Martinez leaves it back for Stroud. Stroud will chip it up and out. Sorry, not Stroud, Udall. To our friends from Utah State, I apologize if I am mispronouncing anybody's names. I've received high-level, top-secret intelligence from our spies that I may have mispronounced the names. I apologize. I don't have a pronunciation guide. I don't even have a roster to tell me who anybody is. So I'm doing the best that I can. I did promise a money guarantee when we signed up, so if our broadcast is not to your liking, please see your internet provider. Big hit there from Lubin. Puts Caden Nelson to the ground as Osborne drives to the net, backhands it on net. Prime shoulders away a check and unable to hold the zone. The Aggies will come back. Shot from Moser, 7, kicked aside by Manzella. Aggies still with the puck. I'm going to not say the name of number 12 because I'm probably sure that's the one that I've been butchering, and again, I apologize. Let's see here. Martinez tried to feather that through the middle and chopped down by a couple sticks, thrown in on net into the defensive zone for the Cougars. Jansen will force Manzella to cover up the net and the puck. 9:21 to play. The Cougars generating a little bit of offense for a few minutes, but now back on their heels a little bit, giving up 3 consecutive shots there, and the Aggies have a little momentum going back. Look, the next goal is going to make a lot of things clear for either side. If BYU can pot the next goal, then they're going to have an opportunity to really put some pressure on these Aggies. If the Aggies can extend their lead out to 4, I've seen a lot of 2-goal leads given up. I've seen a lot of 3-goal leads given up. Very rarely have I seen a 4-goal lead given up in the sub-10-minute mark in the 3rd period, as that puck is thrown on net and wide. Deflects around a few Cougars, and Aggies thrown down low and cleared out and out of the zone as the Cougars have cleared a puck out of the defensive zone.
That's about all you can ask for right now. Like I said, spending way too much time down there. Jeremy Manzella doing all he can do. Really needs help on his defensive line.
Being introduced to an interweb term, troll. I guess even my apology has not been taken in the spirit given. And, you know, I just love all of God's children. Aggies win the face-off, get a backhanded shot on net. Hustled aside and into the corner. BYU will control. Eisenstadt take below the net. And now up the boards to Thunhurst. Thunhurst controls out of the defensive zone. Kicked into the zone by Barris. Kept there. Stroud trying to hold the zone. And Evans will shoulder off Stroud. Dump it in low. Eisenstadt. Up ahead to Stroud. Stroud dragged down, arm up, penalty taken. And that will be on number 11. He's going to get they're calling it an interference penalty on Duque.
Sounds right to me.
Duque with the penalty, 2 minutes for interference. Aggie's able to put up a pretty solid collection of shots there in the last couple minutes. You know, a shot disadvantage that was down to 7 at the end of the second period is now ballooned out to 16 as the Cougars have just lost the offensive edge a little bit. And you look back at the injury to Chase Christensen, and provides a little bit of a jump for the Cougars there as they close out the third period and close out the second period and able to even things up a little bit, but come out a little flat to start the third, and now the line combinations are a little bit in disarray. People are just trying a little struggle, and you've lost depth in those lines, and one of the challenges the Cougars have had coming into this game, just starting to get everyone back on the ice, and now you lose another player, and third period winded, 4th game in the last 8 days. All that stuff starts to build up. I think that shows a lot of how you cough up 3 goals early here in this.
I think the opposite is true for the Utah State Aggies. They've really cleaned up their play. This penalty being the first of their third period, while penalties dominated their second period. If they continue to play clean and play fast, then they're just going to ride this one out.
BYU controls off the faceoff on the man advantage here. Martinez across to Eisenstadt. Eisenstadt over to Stroud. Stroud to Eisenstadt. Blocked shot by Bryant. Maybe that's the name I'm mispronouncing. Back up top to Eisenstadt. Eisenstadt dances around deflected off the net by Stroud on a high shot from Eisenstadt, thrown back in front towards the net and then cleared out of the zone. I guess I'll just go back to just calling everything numbers. I mean, I guess it's easier for me. I was trying to, like, give everybody credit, but
Numbers are something hard to mess up, so you won't really go wrong there. But
I think the internet is undefeated in proving that yes, you can go wrong. As BYU plays the puck off sides and reset with a neutral zone face-off here.
this next minute 5 seconds might be the most minute 5 seconds that we've seen in this game. Put it under 6 minutes, and a 3-goal, if they can't score here, 3-goal difference would be incredibly difficult to come back from. Look for the Cougars to really be offensively aggressive in this next 54 seconds power play.
But not impossible. Eisenstadt drives the net, throws it across the net mouth, and out of the zone. 44 seconds, Manzella will come out and play the puck, send it back around behind the net for Barber. Barber will leave for Eisenstadt, who will head the charge up. Udall crossing the blue line. Pass for Barber a little bit behind. Barber to Udall. Udall tried to kick into the zone just a little bit behind him. And out high, deflected off of Nixon Barber. Change up behind it. You got a 2-on-2 defensive situation, and Eisenstadt's stick clears that away. BYU finally with a little bit of an advantage on the man advantage. Tipped in front, loose. Good save there by Grogan. Send out high. Stroud comes in on the back end of this power play, able to control and then out as the Aggies go full strength again. 5 minutes and 45 seconds left to play here in this third period. Thunhorst will bring it in low. Good forecheck there from the Aggies. It's something that they've been consistent with is the forecheck, but I think it's been a little more aggressive. I think, we're paying attention on the coaching side there for the Aggies, and they know that they're shorthanded and winded, and if you put more pressure on them, especially in the defensive zone, that you're going to end up with situations like that. Neutral zone turnover, leave the pass behind. Bradley Green comes in, picks it up, 7-3 Aggies, 5:24 to play.
I think we said it, but pressure was the name of the game these last couple of minutes. The Aggies really just keeping their foot on the pedal offensively, just getting into their zone and being able to find the open man. Really not letting it up at all. They know that goal might have been the clincher.
Well, I think, one thing that will be discussed all around the milking barns tomorrow morning in Logan is the goal play of Grogan, who, after weathering a little bit of a storm there in the second period, came out and stopped a couple of opportunities that the Cougars had as Caden Nelson deflects that puck, picks it up, drives to the net, puts a shot on net, turned away again by Grogan. Very solid. And then, across the board, offensively, defensively, the Aggies have played very consistently. They've been physical. They're a little over physical there for a bit in the second period. Collected a number of penalties, but settled down as the puck comes across, trying to find a Cougar loose in front of the net, and unable to. Cycled around and out of the zone there by an unnamed instead of misnamed Aggie. But they will, come away from this game having, collected a hard-earned and solid victory from BYU on the road. BYU coming off a game last night with a significant amount of momentum, but unable to carry it into the night, and then falling behind a little bit. A team really doesn't have, even at full strength, a team that has a good run in them once or twice, but to have to rebound, they went down 3-1. They level things up at 3-3. They try to come back at 3-6, and it just being down a guy, being just barely covering 3 shifts as it is, or 3 lines, and then going down, especially an important player, it makes it difficult. And the Aggies saw it, took advantage of it, put a lot of pressure on these Cougars, especially in the defensive zone. Really bumped up their shot totals, and BYU has just not been able to respond, whether it's the legs or just the fact that they haven't been able to keep clear as Martinez shoulders down an Aggie on an attempted shot. Puck cleared out of the zone. Left behind, Barris hard into the boards. Cleared back out by the Cougars. Icing waved off. 3 minutes and 20 seconds here to play in the third. And this is just announcer drivel where a game is essentially over. This was the entirety of the second and the third period yesterday. Shot on net, gloved away by Thunhorst, who dumps it back into the slot and nearly rattled home on a shot there by Udall. But you know, a lot of credit is deserved by the Aggies. They're on the cusp of outshooting the Cougars by 20. They've cycled well. They've taken advantage of opportunities that were given to them, and largely, again, with the exception of a little bit there in the second period, they've played smart physical hockey, which leads to good results like they're going to take out of Provo here tonight.
I think the key that you said there is smart physical hockey. We saw in the second period, obviously, penalties dominated. But the first and third, and especially the third with this advantage now, they needed to play clean. And they were, but they weren't letting up on their physical play. And then just the play of Cody Grogan, the goalie. 3 goals on 29 shots. He's played excellent. Really been the key to this near victory here tonight for the Aggies.
BYU not immune on the penalty plague there in the second period. They also carried a number of penalties, and I think everybody came out a little better settled in the third. And you know, like I said, good smart hockey as Utah State again with an advantage comes in, shot on, sticked away by Manzella, played out to the point out of the zone. Chris Udall chased that down and deflected back into BYU's defensive zone, carried out by Sam Rudder after a pass cross ice from Jeremy Eisenstadt. Udall would go down into the corner to contest the puck play, sticked down by the defenseman, and trying to get onside. Will carry it almost in and pulled off, cleared back into the offensive zone. Penalty is coming on number 4-9. As near as I can tell, his last name is spelled, I can't go wrong with spelling, right? Panek is the spelling. He pointing to the scoreboard in exuberation as if the score excuses the penalty. Nevertheless, penalty called, 2 minutes. Just looked like a little extracurricular activity down here in the corner.
Number 49, Christopher Penn. 2 minutes for elbowing.
2 minutes for elbowing.
BYU, Udall group power play.
Cougar there checked hard into the boards. Comes out, Eisenstadt collects, dumps back in for Thunhorst, who gathers himself trying to get a puck on net. Does, covered up and frozen there by Grogan. Minute 45 to play here in Provo. BYU looking to perhaps punch in another 1 or 2 or 4.
That'd be something.
Try to build a little momentum going into the remainder of the weekend. Barris tied up on the draw, gets the puck out to the point where it's collected by Stroud. Stroud across to Eisenstadt, who tried to play it off his skate, ends up kicking it into the slot area where it's cleared out by the unnamed Aggie defender. Stroud puck rolls off a stick and dumped into the zone by number 12, Cuthall. Carried up by Thunhorse across to Barris. Barris carries it into the zone, forced into the boards there by number 25, Jan. I think it's 2 S's, O-N.
I think you're right.
Roll into the final minute here from Peaks Ice Arena. Barber along the boards, back to Eisenstadt. Eisenstadt to Barber. Barber looking for Barris in the center of the ice. Passes it into his skates where he's unable to do anything with it. O''Brien dances through the defense, puck on his stick, drives towards the net. Manzella comes out and tries to stick or tackle that away. More aggressive, sort of a soccer goalie attempt at making that play as Eisenstadt drives the net, leaves the puck behind. Adams cutting in instead of out. 20 seconds to play here as Manzella will settle this puck down and allow Martinez to cycle it up. Even strength now for the Aggies as they will dump it up and ahead, and we will close out this game. A lot of spirited activity, and BYU will come out on the short end of this stick going into the third period, tied at 3, giving up 4 goals here in the third. Shot disadvantage, 29-45. BYU, they had a lot of advantages in this game that allowed them to kind of hang around. And we talked about it a little bit closing out the second period. Just the penalties, some of that sloppy play in the second allowed BYU to stay in contact, but coming into the third, shorter bench and out of legs, and the Aggies took advantage of that and really much more aggressive offensively, more shots, driving hard to the net, and cycling really well through the offensive zone, putting a ton of pressure on the Cougars. And like we said earlier in the first period, you just can't withstand 30, 45, 50, 60, 75 second offensive zone cycles like that. Eventually something's going to give, and give a lot of credit to the Aggies shooters. They put pucks in the net and deserve to win tonight, absolutely.
Yeah, like you said, nearly 20 of those 45, nearly half of their shots on goal came in the third period alone. Obviously, their 4 goals in that period really made the difference. But the Cougars stuck around for the first 2 periods, but the Aggies' aggressiveness and just ability to keep pounding, keep the foot on the pedal really just doomed the Cougars tonight. They never let up, and a lot of props goes to them and their goalie, Cody Brogan, was excellent tonight.
Both goalies played really well tonight. Manzella stopping 38 of 45 shots, but really left, ostensibly naked in a number of situations where he had to make some big saves and just, got worn down. And Grogan, on the other end, is 26 of 29 and made stops that he needed to make. A goalie is a great momentum killer, and anytime you've got a little bit of pressure coming from the BYU side of the net, and your goalie can shut somebody down on a breakaway, on a loose puck, on a shot, something like that, it really can swing. It can kill momentum from one side, swing it to the other, and that, I think, happened a bunch of times last night, so a lot of credit to Grogan. We're going to wrap things up here from Provo. I appreciated the opportunity here. Caleb Lemming and I, Jeffrey Barber, we're going to sign off to all the Cougar fans and the residual of Utah. That's UTAH State, STATE, Aggies, AGGIES, all the way up there in LOGAN. Appreciate everybody tuning in, and look forward to seeing and hearing from all of you again the next time your Cougar hockey program is in action here from the Peaks or on the road. BYU hockey all season long here on your YouTube channels. Thanks a lot to Brent Ring for